Does your course library look like this, but you have seen no improvements in your UX design skill set? I was in the exact same position. In fact, I spent over $5,000 of my hard-earned money on UX design courses, and for most of them, I seen marginal returns at best. Now, I will share with you my mistakes so you get to avoid them and find the best courses to develop your skills. When I got my first full-time UX design job, I was already good at the UX design process. I knew how to interview users, I knew how to do user testing. What I was better at were the UI design components like color, typography, or let's say interaction design. And when I got to actually invest in courses, I actually invested in my strengths, and that actually held me back a lot. The world-class psychologist Anders Ericsson actually found out that the most successful practitioners in any field are actually people who focus on their weaknesses deliberately instead of trying to improve on their strengths that they already mastered. Most of the UI UX design courses I see are actually aimed for the beginner designers and not for journeymen or seniors. That is especially true because course creators are trying to create this wide net where they are trying to get as many customers as possible. So when I was actually buying my courses, even though I was trying to identify my weakness and go after it, I was buying courses that were too basic for my skill level where I was seeing no improvements. One thing I learned is to actually read the comments and read the reviews for the courses to find out what kind of a level the course is actually targeting for. Meaning, even if the course is saying that they are aiming for mid-level designers or seniors, I really want to skim the content to see if there is enough meat. Otherwise, it's usually a waste of money. I found myself sometimes buying courses based on knowledge acquisition instead of skill acquisition. This is especially true when you are buying a course around, let's say, color or typography, where the instructor is talking about color psychology a lot, but a lot of the homeworks you see is to, let's say, what kind of color actually represents nature, and you write green. But you knowing green actually represents nature does not mean that you know the right time and the right place to use the color green when you are designing a screen. You can find out if the course you are taking is much more about knowledge acquisition by the homeworks they give. If the homeworks are much more about quizzes or, let's say, multiple choices, it's a knowledge-based acquisition system. Instead, you want to be getting homeworks where you have to actually design stuff to get better at. Design as a craft is much more about experiential learning, where you have to do something to find out the nuances. Whereas, let's say, the area of a triangle is 180 degrees is much more about knowledge acquisition. You don't need to actually be able to draw great triangles to actually understand the internal angle summation is 180 degrees. Next, I regret not taking the opportunity to pay extra for some of these courses where I could receive feedback on my homeworks from these teachers. When you are a beginner in a craft, there is this effect called Dunning-Kruger effect, where as a beginner you think you know most of the stuff. You are really confident in your skills. But this is because you lack the ability to notice your weaknesses. And when you don't notice your weaknesses, you have no chance to improve on them. Which is why when you are at the beginner stage, it is very helpful to get teachers take a look at your, let's say, homework so that you can improve. Next, I regret quitting courses where the topic was building too fast. When I actually faced a struggle when I was, let's say, on video 28 and I did the homework and video 29 felt just too much of a leap, I regret stopping there. The reason we can't do a particular skill yet is not because that skill is too hard, it is because the subset of the skills are not a habit yet. Meaning, if you don't know how to pick a variation color when you are working with colors, it is very hard for you to actually go on later to turn a light UI design screen into a dark UI design screen. Because to be able to do that, you have to understand how to create variations by, let's say, a single color. Hey guys, if you love this video, you would definitely love this video where I talk about the best UI UX design course to take this year.